Hello everyone, Powerful Swagger here, and today we're going to be doing another Reddit read. Today's story is going to be coming off of Am I the A-Hole? And the title for it is, Am I the A-Hole for telling my dad he chose between me and his fiancée when he prioritized her surgery over mine? Right off the get, I'm going to go with, Dad is an asshole, because you never prioritize your significant other over your children. She's dumb. I mean, I know sometimes in some relationships, like new relationship, kids will hate significant others because they're not their actual parent. That obviously isn't a reason to end a relationship because children can be fickle in the beginning of things like that and don't really give a chance or time. But in a situation of like surgeries, yeah, I would argue that your daughter's surgery is more important than your spouse's surgery. But let's get into this and see what it's about. I, 17 female, have had a rocky relationship with my dad. My parents married after I was born, hoping to provide a stable family for me, but they divorced when I was 11 after my dad went to rehab and things only worsened from there. During rehab, he met his current fiancée and they later had a kid, 6 female. Since then, my dad has been mostly absent from my life. Whenever I have important events, he either has an excuse or doesn't show. I'd estimate he's been present for less than half of my events since their divorce. Well, that sucks. He's also like, oh, I got a new family now, you're not as important, is what it seems to be. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with scoliosis and initially surgery wasn't needed. However, my condition got worse and I was finally scheduled for surgery on 11/20 of this year. I told my dad about it months ago, expressing how much I needed this support this time, and he promised he'd be there. But later he texts to say he'd planned a vacation that would keep him away until mid-December, just as my recovery period would be ending. It broke my heart, and I accepted it. Okay, so yeah, no, he's just a total shitbag. He's a terrible dad. I have a vacation, so I'm sorry I'm not going to be there. Like, what? That's insane. That's supposed to be your daughter. And to clear up, she says, I was finally scheduled for surgery on 11/20 of this year. This was posted 4 hours ago. So this is happening right now. Her surgery is in a week. And to the next bit. There's a few paragraphs here, so some information we will be obtaining. Alright, here we go. Then 2 hurricanes hit his vacation spot and he told me he'd make my surgery. I felt a glimmer of hope. But then, just a week before my surgery, he texted me again saying his fiance's lung cancer surgery had been scheduled for the same day, a few hours before mine, at a hospital 30 minutes away. He said he might not make it to my surgery, but with him, might not usually means won't. He added that this wasn't about who he loved more. That message shattered me. I realized that no matter how much I hoped, he might never give me the attention and support I needed. I broke down on my kitchen floor that day. That sucks. Yeah, it sucks that his fiancée is going through lung cancer and has to get surgery to try and help it. But as shitty as that is, she's your child. You should be there for her. It sucks what your partner's going through, and I personally think it should be, I'll try to make it to your surgery, adult, and make it to the child's surgery. And the adult should understand that. So yeah, I still think he's an asshole. Like, I get that's tough, but kids come first. After sitting with my feelings, I texted him to tell him how deeply his actions hurt me. I said it wasn't only about love, but about showing care, and that I'd given me hope only to let me down again. I questioned if his fiance's surgery had really been scheduled last minute, or if he had known earlier but hadn't told me. I asked him to show he was my dad through his actions and not just his words. He responded, insisting the surgery was only scheduled the day he told me. Because he lied to me in the past to save face, I reached out to someone who might know the truth. And then I sent a follow-up message clarifying that my frustration wasn't with his fiancée. It was with his ongoing absence and lack of support. I said that even if his reasons were genuine, he could have at least shown some empathy. I'd hoped he'd be a better father for my half-sister than he has been for me. In a final message, I made it clear that I was done putting in all the effort to maintain a relationship on my own. I told him that if he wanted to be my dad, I would gladly be his daughter, but if he chose not to, I would be fine with that too. He hasn't responded, and honestly, I'd prefer he sit with what I've said. For once, I hope he really thinks about his actions and the impact they have had on me. So, am I the a-hole? Nope, not even a little bit. Alright, so definitely she is not the a-hole for setting boundaries and expecting her dad to have empathy and respect and be there for her. That is 100% on him for being a bad dad. Let's get into these comments, see what people say. First comment, girl, your father hasn't shown up for you your entire life. What makes you think he's going to do it now? And furthermore, why do you allow him to have that power over you? He is not your father. He is the male who impregnated your mother. Stop elevating him to father status. This man is going to support the person who he is making his life with, not the child he walked away from years ago. He doesn't prioritize you, and he never will, no matter what words he uses or promises he makes. Good luck with your surgery and focus on your recovery. I agree and disagree with that. Just because he's a shit father doesn't take away the fact that he, in her eyes, is supposed to be her father. I feel this person is disregarding the trauma a child has when a parent rejects them like that. And to like blame them for still wanting this relationship with their parent is not a good take, in my opinion. I think this person is looking at it from too outside of a perspective as him being a man who didn't step up as a dad, and not recognizing from the child's point of view, no matter how much they didn't step up as a parent, they still are your parent. Doesn't matter how abusive they were, how much they neglect you, whatever, they are still in your head your parent. And no human being is the same. So not every single person can just have that, oh, well, he doesn't care about me, that's all that. That's not how it works. You have emotional responses to your parents because it's in our nature too. It's in most animals' nature to look up to your parents and expect a certain amount of like respect and survival. Human beings obviously expect a lot more than other animals do, but to the basis of it, it's the same. OP said, thank you, I will. I don't really agree, again, with that. No matter how much he's a shitty father, he is still her father. You can't take that away. You can't. Somebody responded to her, thank you. They said, yes, OP. Yeah, it's not the same person. They said, yes, OP. I'm sure you'll find someone who will love you more than anyone else and will prioritize you. Don't waste your time on this dirtbag. He's not a father. He's just a sperm donor. And if it helps, I will be praying for you. I hope you have a successful surgery and a quick recovery. Hugs from your Reddit sister. I disagree. And like, I do kind of agree with more than likely he's never going to prioritize his daughter. To say that people never change and he never will, that's not true. Again, great thing about human beings is that we can change. We do have the ability to see the actions we have consequences and how they affect the world, and decide to try and do better. To just say a human being can't change is disrespectful to human beings as a whole. It might take effort, but human beings can change. Yeah, it's pretty much just everybody done responding to that comment, all pretty much agreeing with that he's not a dad. He is a dad, he's just a bad dad. The next person who responded to the Reddit sister thing, you can't know how someone will act and then be completely surprised when they actually act that way. Your dad has made no pretense for his priorities, so do not expect him to change. This is hard to bear at 17, and I really feel for you. Reply on anyone else, including friends and closer family members, and good luck with your surgery. Absolutely not the a-hole due to your age, but do not give him this opportunity again. No, it's not because of her age. It wouldn't matter your age. Would not matter your age. She could be 35. It's still, she's not the a-hole. Your dad is prioritizing a different adult over you. Your children should always be your priority. Like, doesn't matter what age they are, what age you are, that's what it should be. You should always, but that is, of course, my own opinion. You can ask most people. I do my best to try and be a responsible person in every regard of life. So I obviously think being a parent, I'd be the same way. So yeah, it's all just people. Like, a couple people are empathizing by telling her, you know, their stories of their poor parents and how they deserve better. And she will hopefully get better at one point from somebody who does love her. I do agree with that. I do hope she does find someone who respects and loves her the way she deserves to be, as I feel that way for everyone. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. I'd love to talk to you about it, so comment down below and we can have a conversation. I appreciate you clicking on this video. Throw me a like and follow if you enjoyed it. Check out my other content. You might enjoy that as well. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I only broadcast video games on Twitch, obviously, but I am on there. Powerful Swagger on all of those. And then my TikTok is PWFLSWGR. I'm getting close to multiple milestones on those pages where I only need a couple of followers to hit certain marks. Appreciate it if you checked out my other pages and threw me follows there. So again, thanks for clicking on this video. Hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, try to be kind out there.